Well, Monday is the final presidential debate before voters head to the polls November 6th. This time, the focus is on foreign affairs. The attack on the U.S. Embassy in Libya, of course, is supposed to get a lot of attention, as we'd expect. Joining us now, Senator John Barrasso, a Republican from Wyoming, also a member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Senator, thank you for making time and coming in today.
Thank you, Shannon. Great to be with you.
You had some strong words weeks ago about what you thought happened in Libya and the aftermath as well. Now that we've gotten some more information, you've been briefed, what do you think happened? And specifically to how the administration handled the aftermath of the attack that left 4 Americans dead.
I mean, to me, there's been a cover-up by this administration. The administration has lots to explain in terms of what happened before the attack, the day of the attack, and after the attack that claimed the lives of 4 very brave Americans. People saw this attack coming. The British pulled their people out of Benghazi. The Red Cross pulled out of Benghazi. There was attack on us in Benghazi, and yet and these people were asking for more security, and they gave them hazardous duty pay, but not more security. And then after it happened, for 2 weeks it took for the president, even when he went on The View and talked about it, still not really saying that this was an act of terrorism against the United States on 9/11. You know, it was the first time a president in 20 years went to the UN and didn't meet with other foreign leaders. So it's not a surprise that people consider this president aloof and arrogant and out of touch.
All right, let's talk about the front half of this equation, what we knew about what was going on before the attack. You mentioned the request for security. There were concerns from a number of folks in various parts of Libya that there were problems there, that they did need additional security. Is it fair, though, to say that the president knew, that Secretary Clinton knew? Would those decisions have gone to those particular lawmakers that high up?
Well, you know, you've already interviewed former Chief of Staff of the White House, John Sununu, who's talked specifically about that chain of command and the daily security briefs. Clearly, the administration had to know. The documents that have now been released show that the requests were coming in from the ambassador asking for help for additional security. They saw this coming, and we know that with the documentation. Whether the president knew or not, the president should have known. I cannot imagine step-by-step requests at higher and higher levels saying, we need help, please do something. Look, Britain has come out, the Red Cross have come out, and yet the president not knowing.
Okay, and now the aftermath. You're not the only one to use these words, cover up. It is a strong charge to make against a sitting administration. Tomorrow night in the debate, it's going to be talked about. How does Governor Romney handle this topic without seeming overly combative? Does he nail down the president on that misstep that they had in the last debate, the discussion about when the president called this terrorism? Was he specifically referring to what happened in Benghazi? How do they handle this tomorrow night?
Well, I would call forward the president's entire foreign policy. You know, you can't believe the promises he makes for the future because of the broken promises of the past. He said we're going to hit the reset button with Russia. That has completely failed. They've now pulled out of the Nunn-Lugar agreement that's been in place for 20 years. I think, Radio of America, the radio station broadcast into Russia have been canceled now with Voice of America. You take a look at all of those. That's failed. What the president said with Iran 4 years ago and the relationships there. Iran has 4 times as much fortified and enriched nuclear material now than they had 4 years ago. With Israel, we're probably in the rockiest position we've been at in the last 30 years. So what you see across the entire Middle East and what you just reported on in Jordan, Al-Qaeda is not on the run. Al-Qaeda is on the attack, and they're attacking us in other locations and killing our ambassadors. So I think that the president's record on foreign policy is awful, especially when he went to Egypt and said it's going to be a new day, you know, based on his personality or his charisma, that things were going to be different in the world. I still go back to Ronald Reagan. Peace through strength, and strength is also economic strength. When the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff says that the greatest threat to our security is our debt, and the president has added $5 trillion to our national debt in this administration, the president has weakened our country.
Well, tomorrow night, both sides will get to defend their records and challenge them 90 minutes. Senator, thank you very much for coming in ahead of the debate.
Thank you.